Let's talk about the previews of the National Rugby League teams, Brian. We move on to the might of the Cowboys, who were within a game of making the grand final about 18 months ago when Parramatta bombed them out.
Yes.
They fell from grace
Yep.
last year from a prelim final to 11th. The gains, Viliame Vailea, Thomas McKaylee from the Warrington Wolves. The lose, James Taumalolo, who retired, Peter Hiku, Mitch Dunn, Ben Hampton, Brendan Elliott, Riley Price, Gemmet Shibazaki, Jakey Burke and Taniela Sadruga. This is how the team possibly looks. Drinky, the fullback. The wingers, Murray Talangi. Then you've got a list of Kyle Felt, Rob Darby, Semi Valame. Centres, Val Holmes. Zach Labutt, who's on the rise. 5'8", Tommy Dearden. He's got a mortgage on that. Brooksy's put Jake Granville in every single player position.
He's played front row.
He went close last year.
Yeah. Every single player, he's got him in the contention. Chad Townsend, the halfback, but Thomas Duffy's the man we're looking forward to seeing, Brian.
Well, you've got Jakey Clifford as well, but I think Thomas, Jake's been there before.
Jake Clifford's a live chance there.
Yeah, well, he's been obviously there before.
Yeah.
Didn't sort of work out for him at Newey, but no, I'm hearing good things about young Duffy.
Does Chad finish the season at halfback?
I don't think so.
No.
I think the writing's on the wall there.
Yep. Clifford there and Duffy there. I think you're probably exactly right. The lock is Jason Taumalolo, potentially. Ruben Cotter there and Jake Granville, of course, in the mix for that. Leilua, Finifawaki, Nanai, Hess, Lukey, Gajewski. Geez, a good pack. Reece Robson at hooker, Jermaine Tenor-Brown, Jordan McLean. New captains, our man Ruben Cotter and Tommy Dearden.
Tommy Dearden.
Couple of Queenslanders.
I think this side, after the 2022 season where you mentioned they were one game away, probably should have won.
Yep.
Against Parramatta. Parramatta threw that forward pass. Not getting into
it. Playing up there too.
Not getting out of it. I think this side probably were affected by the late start. Remember how we had the World Cup? And a lot of those players were on that tour, especially in the forwards. The fact that Jeremiah Nanai had that super 2022 season. We talk about that second-year syndrome. I think that got to him a little bit.
Yep.
Everyone was rapping him. He signed that big contract. So I expect them. They knew what they did wrong last year, especially the start. So I'm expecting to see the 2022 version of the Cowboys, and I think they can finish top 4.
Totally agree, Brian. When you go through their team, 11 of the 13, if you had to choose a starting side, or in their 17, you could have 13 or 14 players who have played for this state or better.
Yep. What you need.
Yep.
Especially in those key positions. Like Drinky wasn't far away from, there's whispers around that he might have been a full New South Wales fullback. I know he was training with them. Who knows to see?
Yep.
He may well be after what we heard Madge say yesterday, saying he's not looking back, he's looking forward, i.e. that was a bit of a sly dig at the incumbents.
Yes. Reece Robson's an incumbent.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this, Brian? Who would be your New South Wales number 9 based on what we've seen to this point? Are you going with Reece? Are you going with Appy?
Appy.
Cookie? No?
Nah, I'm going with Appy.
You going with Appy?
But Reece Robson did a terrific job, but I'm going with Appy.
Okay. Just on...
What about you?
Did
you like? I did like the way Reece Robson played in Origin.
Yeah, I love Appy.
Okay.
I love Appy. Reece Robson, he's a terrific player. I'd have them both.
Yeah, because Robson can play in the back row.
He can.
At a pitch.
He can, absolutely can. They're all talking about those in the mix. Hylam Lukey, who's off contract, so too's Finifawaki.
Yeah. That's a tourist man. Just pronounce his...
Kulikafi Finifuyaki.
Yes. The tourist nails it every time.
Love Finifuyaki.
He's a gun.
Yeah. Bit light up front, you think?
They need Luciano back in form.
Don't forget, he missed out on...
Yep.
Didn't he miss out on half the season last year?
He did. Yeah, of course he did. Nanai?
Yeah, he needs to get back to that.
It's a good team, Brian.
Yeah, Michael Lukey.
Yep. Cotter. What a superstar he is.
And McLean, he was very good.
Yep.
I thought that was his best year in a couple of years.
If you knew a Cowboy had won the Dally M, you'd say it was who?
Drinky.
Drinky. Yeah. Has to be Drinky. He might play Origin this year too. You just never know.
Like, you know what I like? I like teams that you have to travel to. i.e., like it is a trek going up there and
course it
playing.
is.
So I think they've got to really use that to their advantage. Play a couple of day games.
Yep.
Really set the cat amongst pigeons.
Said pigeons. Yeah, there you go. And just some NRL news too, by the way, just relating to us talking about the Cowboys. The Dragons, Brian, have made a secret bid for Jason Taumalolo. St George Illawarra coach Shane Flanagan has made inquiries with Taumalolo's management in a bold bid to deliver the former Dally M winner to the Dragons' den this season. Taumalolo's camp made it clear the Cowboys champion is happy in Townsville and has no intention of walking out of his $10 million contract. You know what I think about long-term contracts, Brian?
Yes, I know.
Can I just say this about the Dragons? And I know you've got to sign players, but they are really heading into fixer-upper territory.
Okay, can I ask you this, though? If they come knocking on your door, this is the Cowboys, they say, Flano, we're willing to give you a Dally M medalist for $500,000. Would you take him?
When you say for 500, what do you mean?
Well, they're going to pay $500. He's on $1 million.
Yes.
Cowboys want to move him. This is all hypothetical.
Yep.
But they come up to Shane Flanagan and if you're Shane Flanagan or you're the Dragons, are you taking that deal? I'm going to pay $500,000 for the next 2 years. Well, I'll ask Brooksy. He's the.
But can I ask you? So that same, we'll ask Brooksy. But that same example that you give, if the Cowboys themselves were offered an identical player to Taumalolo for 500, would they take it? The Cowboys?
No, they got that on the books.
But they're essentially doing that. They're still going to be paying 500.
I know, but they obviously don't. I don't know if they want to move him on.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
I do know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I do know what you're saying. I know what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
But if they want to move a big name player,
Yes.
who's on $1 million,
Yep.
he's the player.
Yes.
And there are whispers around, and usually in rugby league, loose lips
Yeah.
sink.
Yes.
And there's not too many secrets in rugby league. So I think there has been chat around this.
With the greatest respect to Chad Townsend, I feel like Jake Clifford can do exactly what he could do.
Okay, well, he's
So
not on $1
therefore,
million. He's not on $1 million.
he's on 800 or something, isn't he?
I don't think he's on that much.
Oh, I bet he is.
What?
If you can remove, with the greatest respect, who have been great players, Townsend and Taumalolo,
Mm-hmm.
gee, that opens up some coin.
Yeah.
The best part of 1.5 million, 1.2 mil.
Can I go back to my man over there, the little Steeler?
Yeah, go back over to Stanley.
Hey, Steel Wool hair.
Yeah.
If that scenario was brought upon the table for the next 2 years, which is Taumalolo to the Dragons for $500,000.
Absolutely.
700.
That's what they're missing.
Hang on.
No. You've given me 500.
Let's do the little
You've given me
climber.
500.
Let's do the
tipping
Swiss
point?
Alp guess.
Where's the tipping point?
Where's the tipping point?
600?
Honestly, I think 750 would be the absolute max. You take 3/4 of that contract. They've got the Dragons' middles are a bit decimated.
Yep.
They've lost a lot of their forward pack over the last few years. Bringing someone like Taumalolo there, but the funny thing is with that news release is that the Taumalolo camps just nipped it in the bud straight away before the Cowboys and the Dragons can negotiate anything like 500, 750. It would be a dream to have someone of that ilk in the Dragons pack after what we've lost over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, but can I just say this?
Can I just say something on that? If you get Taumalolo, you put Hunt in at 9. You put
Running
Hunt
off
in
those
at
quick-
9, and he would
play the balls.
I reckon he's a gun 9.
Yeah, that all sounds good in principle, right? But if you're Jason Taumalolo, you're going to cop the same monthly paycheck regardless where you are.
Yeah.
So whether you stay in the Cowboys, which you probably love, or you go to the who can win a competition, in the words of Brian Fletcher, or you go to the Dragons, in the words of Brian Fletcher, cannot. Why would you do that?
But might be, as they like to say, untenable. He's lost his captaincy. We don't know what's going behind.
Yep.
In the behind closed doors.
But behind closed doors, we're seeing this push to move. So you and I are both saying that Christian Welch not in the leadership group.
Yeah.
Obvious snubbing. So therefore, it feels as though they'd be open to, see, Christian, thanks for your service.
Yeah, but if I'm Dragons and I've got the option, is that what you're trying to allude to here? The option of going to Christian Welch.
No, if you're Jason Taumalolo.
Oh, you think Storm?
No, I'm just saying, why would you go to, well, maybe they take Christian Welch and Jason Taumalolo goes down to the Melbourne Storm. That I could see happening.
Because you've had a bet on him.
That I haven't. I will.
You will.
But I haven't.
But the Dragons situation, they would have to take so much of that contract for it to be an option because there's teams that have 500K up their sleeve or would just need to do one move, like you said about Welsh, to be able to be in the Taumalolo sweepstakes. So the Dragons have to make it so great for the Cowboys to pull the trigger on the deal because of the situation that they're in. And I know the other 15 teams
Once they get,
would be able to move something similar to make it attractive for both Taumalolo and the
Okay, so
Cowboys.
what would you, General Manager of Rugby League, Nathan Brooks, i.e. Stanley the Steeler, how much would you pay Christian Welsh to get him to the Dragons? All hypothetical.
What would he be on? Like 550? Like you mean like so Walsh's contract would be severed? He would be a free agent.
Yep.
He's coming.
However you skin a cat, what would you pay?
Well, that's the thing. Knowing sort of what the Dragons situation is, they've got a bit of cash to splash over the next few seasons. So theoretically, they've got their 30-man squad named because of Tui Pilotu's signing.
Yes.
And so you would just you'd be able. This is the free hit that they've got because they've got the cap space, and over the next few years, you could give him 600 just to fill that roster spot. But next year, supposedly heaps of players are coming off contract, millions of dollars available. This is the year that Flano's got a bit to play with to be able to lure someone in 2025, 2026. Probably a one-year deal for Welsh at whatever.
The Christian Welsh, like, no offence, he's a dime a dozen player.
Yeah.
The Jason Taumalolo, that don't come around very often.
No.
Even when he's obviously getting a little bit older. He's 4 years. He's got 4 years left on his contract.
He's got 4 years.
4 years to go.
See,
2027
seriously,
finishes.
that's why they're talking about. Everyone was talking about the Payne Haas $4 million year contract. We've read the book before. Jason Taumalolo was the best player in the competition in 2017. That's when they signed the contract.
Yep.
That's when they signed it, when he was the best player in the world. And at that point, people are saying this bloke will end up an immortal. He's not in that conversation at all right now.
Not now.
Is he?
Maybe, might need a change. I don't know, but if Flano and the Dragons can get that deal done, I think that's a win.
Okay, Brian, before we go, that's the preview. You can catch up on the SEN Run Home with Joel and Fletch YouTube page for that. The Cowboys, quick gut feel, finish exactly where?
Sixth.
Sixth. The Run Home with Joel and Fletch.